Hi guys, this is Leela. Welcome to my channel Leela WebDev. So in the previous video we have learned about the before each and after each, the setting up of the HTTP testing we have set up. So now we will test the config service using the HTTP client testing module. So let's try to see it. So the first test case which I would be writing it here, it should fetch configuration data. So just it will be having like this, and you can have it like this, and here you can mention it as async. If you are having an await or something like that, you can mention it as an async, so that's not a problem. So now let's try to implement this one. So what is the problem here? Okay, not if it, okay, that's it. So now here let's try to implement it. So first one is, so we need to call the configuration data, so the service file, so whatever the configuration service.ts file, so this is the get config data is there, so we need to call it. So let's try to call this one. So we already have that variable, that is not one instance in the service, so let's try to call it. So service is equal to constant config, so you will be getting the observable service dot get config. Okay, so this is the get config, and this is of, you will be getting the data of type config. That's it. So why it is not coming? Service. So this is a service only, right? Test config service, and this config service, from where we are trying to get it? Config service. Here we need to get it. And here this one is config service, and this one is also, so this is our mistake. So we are having two services, right? So that is the problem we are getting it. Okay, so let's leave it. Yeah, so now we got the get config data, fine. So we need to convert this one to a promise. So if you want to convert this one to a promise, config promise is equal to, and here I will use the first value from, so it will try to get the first value from, and config dollar. So this is an RxJS operator, so which it will convert the observable to promise for easier testing. So here it will convert the observable to promise, so it will take the first value and it will convert it to promise, fine. So now I will try to make the request. So constant request is equal to http testing dot expect, not none, expect one. So we are expecting one, and that one is, so we can also provide a full form or another type of syntax also. So you can give the method is equal to get, and also the URL you can provide it, that is nothing but /API/config. So now we have provided this one also. So now we are trying to make the request. So here we have created a request, and now let's try to check that whether expect request dot method be get. So if it is a get request or not, we are trying to make it. And also we will try to send the response, request dot flush of default underscore config. We are having this one, right? So we are sending, and here I will be using expect, and here I need to resolve the promise, right? So here await, I will use the await promise, so that is nothing but the config promise. So I am resolving this one, and I need to check that to equal of default underscore promise. That's it. So like this you can check it for the easier testing. So now this one is success scenario is completed. So let's try to implement the failure scenario also. So if you want to do it, so it should, so whenever you are trying to do it, so you need to implement these two cases. It should fail if no matching request is made, and this one you can have it something like this, and here in this bottom the same thing. So I will be having the service dot get config, so I will be calling with the config data. So here I will be getting the config, so I am calling this service dot get config, so I am calling the service. So when we call the service, so we need to expect it, so the shortcut I will write it. So expect the method. So here I will be getting http testing dot expect one. So we got this one method, and here we will be having dot API or invalid slash URL. So this is the method I am calling, and here we need to check that to throw error. So it should throw an error. Expected one matching. So you can write it whatever you want. Expected one matching request for criteria. That's it. So this is how we will be checking the thing. So step by step implementation, if you want to check it means, so here HTTP verify and all those things. So I already told you about this HTTP verify. So ensure that we need to ensure that the service returns the correct data by searching it. So now what is useful for this one is mocking requests. So here what I want to tell you is, so now here I want to tell you for expand. So for example, if you are not able to understand this one, so I will try to explain you with expanded example with error handling, so that you can able to understand it very easily. So for example, let's say that if you are not able to understand, so let's try to take the same thing, constant config. Okay, I will try to take the same thing. So if you are not able to understand, this is the shortcut method I am trying to tell you, and here you can take the REST request. So the short form request also you can take it, or otherwise the long form request also you can take it. So here I will be trying to do, so expect one off like this, and here you can keep it as an async. So we'll try to do it as an, now here you can use some invalid URL or anything, and here, so what I can do it is, so here I will try to simulate the error. So here I will be simulating the error. So I will be sending the request.error. Okay, so error event status 404 not found. So now here I can check await. So here I can check it with await expect async config promise to be rejected with error HTTP failure response for API config 404 not found. So this is how we will be doing it. So now like this also you can do it, or in any scenario. So whatever the scenarios you want, you can do it. So summary, what I want to tell you is, so using this HTTP client testing module will ensures you can thoroughly test the Angular services that can make HTTP request without depending on the actual server responses. The above example demonstrates setting up a testing environment, mocking requests and response, and also verifying the service behavior and the response handling. So this is how you will be making the requests in the testing the HTTP requests in the Angular 19. So not only 18 or 19, so whatever it may be, so you need to implement the before each, and you should not forget to mention this after each and HTTP testing.verify. So you need to check it, and this is the success scenario, and also this is the failure scenario. So that's it guys about this HTTP testing thing. Hope you understand about this concept. If you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you.